Hi, Flosstube.
Hi.
We're back.
It's been a while.
I'm Allie.
I'm Amy.
And we are Lost Our Needles. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We are part of the little corner of the internet that talks about cross stitch with usually some books sprinkled in there.
There'll be a couple books today that I'd like to recommend.
Yeah. And if you're joining us again, thank you, because we're a little crazy. So thanks for joining us in our crazy.
And we know it's been a little bit since it's been a little longer than we were hoping between filming. But just between recovering from Christmas, getting everything put away, projects around the house, they've been doing a lot of testing at school and getting ready for stuff.
I just haven't been doing that much stitching.
She hasn't been doing that much stitching. They're getting ready to go to DC this weekend, right? With the trip to DC.
Yeah, close up.
So she's just been busy. So and hasn't had much time for stitching.
Yeah. Onyx Storm released, if you guys are Fourth Wing fans. So that took up a good every night. I was reading the physical copy to slow me down. So every night for about a week and a half, that was my nightly plan. So
and now you guys don't know when the next one's coming out. You could wait another year or two before the next one.
Yeah, people
She's
are
not giving you
predicting
any
2027. So she's writing another book. She goes back and forth between real life romance, modern romance, and then fantasy.
Okay.
So she's writing another book, and then she said she'd spend summer with her kids. I think she has a kid going off to college this fall. So she's spending summer with her family, and then she'll write. So for all of you Fourth Wing fans out there, we got this.
You got this. Okay, so we ended our filming last time it was our 1-year anniversary.
And thank you for all the sweet comments, guys.
Yes, we really appreciate it. We've enjoyed this time. We've enjoyed getting to know you both through here and in person. It's been a delight.
Yeah. And we did have a giveaway.
And we do have our giveaway. Thank you.
So,
my mind went blank.
We're giving
for our 1-year anniversary,
this lavender and lace angel, that angel of winter, because at least a month ago it was still winter. Last week here it was almost 80. It was miserable.
But now we're cooling down and a chance of rain tomorrow. So I know, although now it started off being 50%. Now it's down to 25%. So.
But hey, Washington, D.C. next week's going to be in the mid-30s all week.
Yep. And there are parts of the country that's definitely still winter. So.
So anyway, we have our giveaway for this, and our winner is Loana J. Loana, if that's your first name, last name, congratulations, you win. Here's your making sure that it's the right person.
We'll tag you down below.
Yeah.
Reach out to our email at lostourneedles@gmail.com.
Send us your address, and we will, and when I say we, I mean she will get this in.
I handle the mail stuff, yeah. And there will be a little something extra along with this in there because it's our 1-year anniversary. Thank you for supporting us.
So you have a finish.
Well, first, I'd like to acknowledge some sad news. I'm sure most of you have already heard, but in case you haven't, Jean from Lost Our Needles passed away.
The attic.
Or from the attic.
Lost Our Needles.
Sorry, Jean from the attic passed away 2 weeks ago.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. She'd been battling cancer for several years, and we've been to the store. We've had the privilege of meeting Jean. We didn't interact with her a whole lot, but she was a delight. I know she's loved in this industry deeply, and her loss is going to be truly felt. And her funeral is coming up on Saturday. No, in
Next
2
Saturday.
weeks,
Yeah.
the 22nd.
Reading her obituary that I guess her husband wrote.
Yeah.
They talk about how she so enjoyed working with and meeting new stitchers and helping get them comfortable, and that was 100% my experience.
Yes, that was both of our experience with her in the store.
She was having so much fun showing me different things.
Encouraging newbies and
she was such a sweetheart, and every time I walked in, whether I was talking to her or not, she could tell she just loved what she was doing.
And I know people came from around the world to meet her, and it sounds like they'll be keeping the store going, I hope, and keep her legacy going on. So I just wanted to
the attic family,
our condolences.
And love.
Yeah, we adore your store, we love your people. And Jean will be missed, yes. So I just wanted to get that out there in case for some reason none of you had heard the news. That's there. So, okay.
All right, so you have a finish.
I have a finish. I got it finished for Valentine's, but not fully finished.
Another one for our finishing party that we still haven't planned.
Yeah. So this is Brenda Gervais, Key to My Heart. And it is fully finished.
I love those little lovebirds.
I did it with all the called for floss. I did a very similar fabric. Let's see. Hopefully I put the packet in here that had it all listed. Somehow the cat, I'm sure the cat keeps taking it out and playing with it. Yep, here it is. I did it on, Newcastle cream linen 40 count. So as you've heard previously, this was the first time I worked on 40 count, one floss, thread of floss, strand of floss over 1, 2. And I absolutely loved it. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. I didn't think my eyes could do it. But I would definitely do that again. And I'm starting to think more and more about possibly working on 40 again. But that's a finish. Now I just need to get to the store. And part of it is I don't hate shopping. I hate going shopping. The getting in the car and the driving the part of it. Not that everything's that far away, but stop signs, stop lights. You have to be in the mood. And I've not been in the mood because I need to finish my pumpkin pillow. I have several finishes I need to do, and I've just not been in the mood to do it.
We should make a day over spring break and go out and like pick out finishes.
That would be a good idea, yeah.
Make a day
anyway, so that's my finish. I can't say fully finish. A couple other things I still need to finish, just tiny little details that I haven't done yet. So how about you?
My one whip, guys, and it's petty progress, but it's progress. I'm falling behind on my yearly goal. So this is Cloud Factory US presidents. The Cricut's overheating. I have the picture around here somewhere, unless my couch ate it. So US presidents by Cloud Factory. It'll be interesting. Trump is going to come back now. We now know that.
Yep.
So they'll have to add, they won't even have to really add it.
Unless they...
I read in my US history textbook, and I think I brought this up before, but just in case none of you guys all know, I believe Grover Cleveland, up until Trump, was the only president to ever have left office and then be reelected into office after having left it.
Not back-to-back presidency. Yes.
And now Trump is the second president in history to do that. That's kind of a fun fact.
Fun fact. Okay.
But
let's see your progress.
Don't judge, guys.
It's Onyx Storm's fault. We're just going to leave it there.
I've just been in a bookcase, yeah. So I started Washington, and I got like 2 more lines on the American flag done. Honestly, I did like all of this in like an hour that I got home from work today.
Trying to do something for you also. It wasn't just mom talking, because mom doesn't like to be the only one talking.
It's fun. Like I kept telling myself to do it, and then I'd get a headache. Or the problem is I've been so sucked into books and like Onyx Storm, and I like watching TV or a movie, but there's been nothing, absolutely nothing on TV that's like, I want to sit down and watch that. Everything I want to watch, I'm watching behind my eyelids because it's a book and I'm seeing the movie in my head. You guys get like that? When you're reading, you see a movie in your head.
Oh
you
gosh,
don't see words on a page.
most of us readers do.
And so when I think about what do I want to watch, it's words on a page. There's been nothing that's like, yeah, let me say. I've tried because I'm in like a fantasy groove. So I was like trying like The Witcher, and I can't get into that. I haven't really wanted to put on Lord of the Rings. I've just been in a weird...
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings we watched so much.
I was
you guys growing up.
Huge, like a year ago when I was sewing all the pants for Christmas. I watched Lord of the Rings, all 3 of them on repeat.
Yeah, so...
So anyway, I'm excited. My goal is to have
It was going to be, what, one a month?
It's only February, so I can have him and John Adams done by the end of the month.
Okay.
I might try and take him on the plane with
I
me.
think we need to hold her to that.
Yes, yes you do.
Okay.
So,
That's all you've been working on. Nothing else.
I think I'm at 16 books on my Goodreads challenge for the year.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm just giving you a hard time, hon.
I've been in
We
such
go
a
through,
weird...
I think we all go through phases where we cross stitch like crazy and then we don't. And that's okay. That's human. I know I haven't done as much cross stitch. I too have been in a book. No, I won't say like that, but I have read 2 good books. But let me show you, I have started a project and it's coming along swimmingly. So I think I told you last time I was going to do the, Robin Pickens has the season birds, a bird for every season. And I started with spring because, you know, spring comes pretty dang early down here in the Phoenix area. And so it's the Robin's Spring by Robin Pickens, seasonal Courier.
Spring by Robin Pickens.
Yeah. So this is it. I'm using the called for thread, but I'm using it on 32 count fabric instead of 28 count fabric as it was called for. The fabric I'm using is Vanilla Cream by Atomic Ranch. It's a 32 count linen by Farmer's Attic or Atomic Ranch. It's called Vanilla Cream. It's a really pretty creamy.
Like cream.
Yeah,
Cream.
it's literally a really pretty yellow. It's really close to what I used the Love Key on, the Brenda Gervais.
Are you going to actually show them your progress?
Yes, eventually.
Okay.
I'm keeping you in suspense.
It's going to be a short floss tube, guys.
So I started this, I don't know, just shortly after our last floss tube. So it's been what, 4 weeks, three and a half, 4 weeks. Yep, so here it is. And I am just loving this. From the picture, I thought the corally colors were going to be a little pinker, and these were going to be a little more turquoisey than greens per se, but I'm loving it. It's fun to work on. I'm enjoying, I sit at night, I watch Father Brown every night. It's I think PBS, not PBS, BBC. And I just enjoy it. I'm going through it for the second time. They just have a lot of shows that I like. They're just fun. Anyway, and I stitch in the evening. I take probably, yeah. So that's what I do. Watch a show, stitch. Some nights I take nights off because I've read 2 books. Has it just been 2? So I'm kind of behind the ball, whatever. On this book, The Women by Kristen Hanna, it follows a group of nurses during the Vietnam War. They were Army Vietnam nurses. And I was really hesitant to read it because I was afraid she wouldn't do justice to their experience over there. And I had worked with a fellow nurse in labor and delivery up in Michigan for many, many, many years who was an Army Vietnam field nurse. I mean, she was as close to the action as you could get. She was one of the best nurses I've ever worked with. She knew more than, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but she knew more about labor and delivery and things than most doctors did. She would often tell us stories. We worked in the middle of the night, and she would often tell us stories, whitewashed big time, about everything that went on there, but very whitewashed. But if you know anything at all about Vietnam, you know there was a lot more to what than she told us. And she ended up dying a couple of years ago from many diseases that had been caused by napalm that she had been exposed to while she was over there. She was a phenomenal human being, a great teacher. I can't begin to tell you what she taught us in labor and delivery. And I was afraid that somehow Kristen Hanna wouldn't do justice to Trudy. Trudy had to fight to get benefits from the VA. She was an instrumental piece in not at the big wigs getting the Vietnam Nurses Memorial, but she certainly pushed it big time in Michigan. She had a very vocal voice for women vets in Michigan. And Trudy is missed still very much to this day. And I was afraid that Kristen wouldn't do justice to her and her story and others like her. But enough people said, Amy, you need to read it, that I broke down and started reading it and read it in 8 hours.
Yeah, I interrupted it once or twice.
Yeah. I'm one of those readers that when I get going, I just read. So she was done in a day. Yeah, yes. Anyway, so it's a phenomenal book. I believe Kristen did incredible amounts of research where she did do them justice. She honored them truly by even telling their story, and not just the nurses, but she honored those that served. You talked about some of the things that were happening over there, the goodness and the evil that was over there, without making them seem evil, the people. She was very, she understood why some of the things happened and explained it in her story. Anyway, she did a great justice. She did a great job telling a great story about that time in our history, and with explaining some of the yucky stuff, but still honoring those that were serving, because that was an impossible war. Anyway, so that's the one book. I would highly recommend it. I've enjoyed everything I've read by Kristen Hanna. I don't know why I was so worried about this one being any different, but I truly enjoyed it. And then the second book I've read, and again, I read it in 7-8 hours. It's called The Frozen River. I can't remember the name of the author, but it's on all the top reading lists for the year. The Frozen River. It's about a nurse midwife in Maine in the 1780s, just shortly after we'd won our independence, in a small town in Maine. It's based on a true person. She left a diary that left records of all of her deliveries. This woman did 1,000 deliveries in her lifetime and did not lose a single mother. I know she lost several babies. Some of those couldn't be helped. Even today, premature, wrapped cord, all the other reasons that things can happen. But she didn't lose a single mother. And in a time when they didn't have antibiotics, they didn't understand germs, were just beginning to figure out a few things. She was phenomenal. Now this is a dramatized version of her life, because we don't know that much about her life, just her deliveries. And even the war between physicians were starting to graduate from school and starting to take over labor and delivery, and were doing things differently. And the battle that was happening then, we've had struggles with even as recently as just, 10, 20 years ago. So it was really interesting reading it. And there's a bit of a mystery in there, a whodunit kind of a thing. It was a phenomenal story, really well written. It was a wonderful book, and I would highly recommend that too, especially if you have any kind of interest in what medicine would have been like at that time. So 2 books that I've read, both took a whole day to read, loved both of them deeply. Anyway, so done some stitching, mainly on this. I did a little bit on the Aphrodite, our birthday stitches, but I'm discovering I don't do very well when I'm having to move stitches all the time, 3 or 4 or 5 stitches, and you've got to move over here or over there. And apparently I have a little ADHD when it comes to stitching. You just want to stitch. I just want to consistently stitch, and that's why I think I like this kind of stuff. But I'm going to train my brain to do it, so I'm going to persist and keep going forward. So,
I do have one piece of haul.
Oh yes,
I didn't share haul. I had haul to share last time, and I didn't. But so I actually ended up canceling my order with Forbidden Fiber Co. for my monthly subscriptions. They're doing the book clubs again. Do you know how tempting it was to re-sign up?
I know.
But I got my one last order, and it was vanilla cream, which
It's a really pretty color.
Yeah, it's looking more yellow in this, but it's just a very like, I don't have a lot of just like plain neutrals
nice
like
neutral.
this. So I'm really excited about it.
Kind of the color of a sandy, kind of a sand.
Yeah, it almost kind of reminds me of like a French vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
like that's
that'd
what,
be
like
a
the
good way
vanilla
to
cream,
describe
like
it.
where
Yeah.
it's like a little bit yellow from the French vanilla, like compared to yours.
I know they are both called vanilla cream.
Well, yeah, vanilla cream and oh, that's hysterical.
They're both called vanilla cream.
So mine's definitely warmer. I definitely feel like Forbidden Fiber Co. definitely goes a little bit more yellow.
Yep.
Well, anyway, so
But it's a pretty,
I have
very
a couple
pretty
ideas
color.
of what I want to stitch on it. I just have to get back into stitching. But
we go through phases. That's
but like
life.
I read Emily Henry's Funny Story. That was a good one. If you have read Emily Henry, it made me a little homesick for Michigan because it takes part in like northern up here, like close to Traverse City, and like the main male character works at a winery. And we all, well, y'all might not know, but mom knows, like wineries in Michigan are my happy place.
Well, and there's so many wonderful wineries up there in the northern Michigan part.
And so
too.
it was like taking place in summertime in northern Michigan.
There we go. That's the
And it
song.
was like making me want to.
It makes you a little homesick.
I was very homesick.
Yep.
And then I just started a fantasy series, Daughter of No Worlds. That it's an interesting world building. Like she's a slave that gets freed.
Okay. For those of you, just to know that today, I think, is Abraham Lincoln's birthday or President's Day.
I think President's Day is Washington's birthday, and this is Lincoln's birthday.
So Sweet Wing Studio has a special. She has done a cute little stitch with a Abraham Lincoln quote. And she has that today only on her Etsy shop.
Which probably
for
means by the time
$5.
a lot of you see this, it'll
probably be too
so
late.
We're sorry. We film after school.
I have to think about this here. I'll pull it up. But it's a really nice quote. I'll bring it up here. Da, 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 da,
All of you guys are
da,
doing
da.
well. Those of you that are back in school, we're almost through the first, like we're halfway through the third quarter. So go us. How many of you guys were feeling like January was a really long year? Yes. I didn't feel like, did you think January was really long?
No, I know some people acted like it was a year and two of itself.
Okay, I've seen that one before. That is really cute.
It's a quote that has the White House. It has little emblems all around it.
That's the Lincoln Memorial.
The Lincoln Memorial, sorry. It's a white building. Be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. And that's a quote by Abraham Lincoln. And it's $5 according to her website through the day. I don't know if that's going to change for tomorrow or not, but grab it if you can. And if you like history and are a fan of Abraham Lincoln, it's a neat, it would be a cute stitch. So especially for history or.
Close Up is doing one of their out of town things for us is a tour of like they do out of town things for teachers where you can go.
Yeah.
And one is following like Lincoln's assassination and kind of following Booth in around DC into Maryland and into Virginia.
Do you get to go to the theater?
Probably.
That's where he went.
So that's one of the things it's like a little extra because they take you, and that's where like I got to see Gettysburg and Monticello. I'm definitely gonna do that one. Like,
okay. Oh yeah, I would too. Okay.
So I'm excited about that trip. It's gonna be, it's tiring, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, you'll learn a lot too.
Yeah, I come back totally like re-energized to teach.
Good.
So.
And then Nashville Needle Market's going to be here soon, and all kinds of new patterns already that I'm seeing. So many that I want to do, but
yeah,
time.
Too many hobbies.
Money. Yeah. Anyway, so that's about all going on in my life.
Yep.
What we've been up to, and
Luana J was our winner.
Luana J. Please reach out to us at lostourneedles@gmail.com.
Yep.
and we'll send this to you as quickly as we can.
And thank you guys. I feel like this was kind of a quick and maybe a little boring of an episode, but we wanted to check in. I'll promise I'll have more stitching next time.
It was as much a book talk as anything. So anyway, sorry about that, but that's been our life.
Oh, a couple of you guys asked about the spy book from the Civil War. Like, it was called Stealing Secrets. I don't know that the writing was, like, the research seems solid. I don't know that the writing was like the best writing I've ever read. But he told the stories that were interesting that I'd never heard before. Like, the stories were good. So if you like, it's called Stealing Secrets. I don't know the author's name. But if you like stories that maybe you haven't heard before, or bringing like new facets,
or about women's role in war,
it was really cool.
You don't hear much about women, but we had an integral role. We just didn't get the publicity for it.
Yeah, a lot of the leaders of the Civil War cursed women, and like knew that most most devastating of the spies of the Civil War were women.
Yep.
So go women. We run the world.
Even if it's quietly.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys. Hey, happy Valentine's Day for those of you that are celebrating.
Or Galentine's Day.
Or Galentine's Day. May your day be filled with love, laughter, and joy, however that looks, and whoever you're spending it with, even if it's just yourself.
Chocolate and wine, ladies. Chocolate and wine. Or gentlemen. Chocolate and wine.
And watch a good movie. There's lots of them out there. So,
do you remember Valentine's Day that came out when I was like a teenager? And it had like Taylor Lautner and Taylor Swift.
You said two names that I don't even care about, so no.
It had all these different celebrities in it, and it was like different people celebrating Valentine's Day differently. Okay. I always think about that. Okay.
I was going to say, watch Chocolat, the one with Johnny Depp and, oh gosh, fabulous actress. Anyway, that was a good.
Oh, it was on the Renee Zellweger.
Nope.
I tried.
Nope. Anyway, the book was as good, if not better, than the movie, but the movie was really good. So it's a movie about chocolate. It was a good movie. Maybe think about watching that for Valentine's Day. So anyway, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 3-ish weeks.
Yeah, spring break-ish.
Yep. Okay, maybe we'll have some FFOs for you. Bye.
Bye.